everyone, it's me, Anthony Coach, a guitarist on YouTube, here with my first video of 2023. I hope everyone had a really nice celebration, but here we are in January, and the thing with January is people like to make big promises to themselves, and in the guitar world that's one of two things: either you've just got a guitar for Christmas and you're making it your New Year's resolution to get better on it, or you're already a seasoned guitar player but you're starting the year with a renewed sense of motivation to get better. Whichever one you are, doesn't matter. This video is for you because this is, I've been teaching guitar for about 15 years. This is what I think is essential stuff for you to get better at playing guitar. Boiled it down to 3 things. Wait, hang on. I'm feeling very generous today, so if you actually stick around to the end of this video, I'm going to give you further 3 tips on top of these tips already. But first, before we get going, I want to know down in the comments if you've made any New Year's guitar resolutions. Let me know down there. Okay, so first up, we've got number 1. It's not number 1 because it's the most important. I think these 3 things are just as important as each other. But this is number 1 because I had to pick one. Be a planner. You have to plan everything. Of course, you can improve doing things without a plan, but it's much easier and faster, more efficient with a plan. And the top of that planning list is you have to define what you think is good. I've called this video something like, what does it take to be good at guitar? My version of good might be different to your version of good. We define it in different ways, so that should be top of the list. What do you want to be able to do in 2 years' time, 3 years' time, 10 years' time on the guitar? What do you consider to even be good? Once you've got that at the top, then comes further planning. That you would go, okay, I admire this. I view these guitar playing traits to be good. How do I achieve those? Split them down into smaller categories. Those categories might look something like rhythm playing, lead playing, chord scale theory knowledge, technique, whatever. You'll by asking yourself questions, you'll come up with your own version of a plan. And that's a really good first step. So become a planner and remain a planner for every single practice session. What's second on this list? Routine. Routine is one of those words that is so easy to just say, but then so difficult to keep up. So my advice, everyone knows what routine means, but I don't want you to necessarily think about routine being I must practice at 7 PM every single day. A routine, by its very definition, is something that is rigid and disciplined. But I think it is important to allow yourself to be a bit flexible. Give yourself a nice routine that is just a nice sentence. I'm going to practice 5 times a week. That might not mean that you practice on the same days every week, the same times, but it's a nice routine to stick to. If you've not practiced Monday, Tuesday, you'll then by Wednesday think, oh well, I've got to practice today, tomorrow, and the day after, and the day to fit in the 5. So you have to stick to a routine. Be realistic. Don't set yourself up for failure. It's January, and what comes with that is people making these grand promises to themselves, and the first step generally that people fall over is by setting up unrealistic expectations of what kind of routine you can even stick to. We've all got different jobs, different responsibilities. It's going to have to fit around those. My one, the way that I work is that I practice every single day. Unless I'm on holiday, I practice every single day. Now I'm going to be honest with you, it's not always guitar. Sometimes it's piano, saxophone, flute, singing, whatever. But I practice something musical every single day. Which on paper, that sounds really impressive. But sometimes one of those practice sessions might just be 5 minutes long. 10, 20, whatever. But it's flexible, and that is what I think is really important for keeping a routine. There's that cliche, you know, the best routine is the one that you can stick to. But I want to, I mean, it's true. It is true. It's one of those cliches, but it's true. I want to add to it, be flexible with it, but even have one, even having one, no matter how flexible you are with it, as long as you have one. What is third on the list? Third on the list is again one of those buzzwords that is easy to say but very tough. Let me actually read it. Because the third one is motivation. And if it had to have a subheading, it would be discipline. That kind of comes with routine as well. That's lurking in the background of both of these. But really this one is motivation. It's tough to stay motivated, especially if you're a complete beginner, because those first few weeks you feel amazing because you like this and then you go like that and your progress looks like this and then it starts to go like this and then it starts to even off and it feels like that your progress starts doing this, but it's not, it's doing this, and that's when it's tough to remain motivated. Everyone experiences this, absolutely everyone. And there's two tips that I've got for you. Number one is the amount of times that I request people to do this, students of mine, and I don't think a lot of people do it. Record yourself very often, even, you know, through the ups and downs, even on those practice sessions where it all went wrong, especially those. Record them and just chuck them on an hard drive somewhere where you feel like you'll never watch them. But there's the trick that in 6 weeks time or something, not just a week later, 2 weeks, but in 6 weeks, 2 months, whatever, later, you watch them back and then you see the progress. And that is really motivating. It makes you double down on what you've been doing, thinking, oh, actually, you know, the progress was there all along. This is especially true for people who are the seasoned practicers, players like you. I can see you. You've been playing for years and years and years, and just like all good students, you're aware that there's still work to do. It's very tough to keep motivated because you've got loads of stuff under your belt, and you think, and you know, it's easy to rest on that kind of stuff, and to play that kind of stuff in your practice sessions that should be practice sessions, but they've turned into playing sessions. So recording yourself when you've set yourself a routine of planned practice, see what I did there? There were the other two. You'll see that progress through the tough times. I guarantee it. The three of those together, how powerful is that? Imagine that. Someone who plans every single practice, someone who sticks to a routine, and someone who works towards keeping their motivation. I'm so excited about these that I forgot another little note about motivation. Motivation, something that helps is keep other people like you around you. In other words, watch other guitarists. Now that's a tough one and it comes with a little warning. If you type in #guitar on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, the top results are people who pressed record on their phones at the top of the game. They're amazing is what I'm trying to say. It's very easy to go down a rabbit hole of demotivation. Is that a word? Demoralisation, however you want to call it, where you just think, I'll never sound like that. First of all, let me tell you that you will. If you stick to these three things, then you will. I guarantee it. But it can be quite harmful. A bit like looking at airbrushed models in you know, on Instagram. Face, it's not even airbrush now, that's quite old fashioned. You know what's the filters? It's a bit like that. It's motivating to a point, but too much of it has the opposite effect. So find a social network of people who are around the same level as you, or just a bit better than you. You perceive them as just a bit better, more confident, I should say, however you want to word it. There you go, 3 things: a plan, routine, and motivation. But I said earlier into that I had some bonus ones for you. Bonus ones: find a teacher, find a good teacher or a mentor, someone who's really, really experienced. They don't have to be a professional teacher, it's good if they are. Find someone who can immediately spot things and just go, you do realise you're doing an upstroke there when you should be doing a downstroke. Those kinds of things just save a lot of time. What else? Keep a practice journal. That's part of the planning. Keeping a practice journal helps you to pick up where you left off, so there's no wasted time. You look through your journal, you go, okay, what was I at? 88 BPM. What was I playing? Quaver notes. Okay, there we go. Metronome. Done. No faffing. No playing it at 85, thinking that that's what you reached 2 days ago. You can't quite remember. You're actually practicing it slower, but it feels just as fast. But if you had a practice journal, that eradicates that problem. What else? Yngwie Malmsteen said it best when he said to eat your greens.
Now kids, I'm going to sound a bit like, you must eat your greens.
That metaphor. This is part of a plan as well. Plan to practice the stuff that you don't necessarily like playing. It's the metaphor, isn't it? To eat the veg on the plate. Every player's going to have their version of what that veg is. For me, it's finger picking. That thing that I never practice. I should employ my own advice and make myself practice finger picking. So yeah, there's that last one. Highlight what your greens are and eat them. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I'm Anthony Couch. Extra special thanks to these names up here who support me on Patreon. And my Patreon is evolving. It might have already popped up. I might have edited it in at some point during the video, but I might have added a few little bonus things over on Patreon, which would be really cool of you to come and join in over there.